Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicholas Lopez. I will be going over Module 12, which covers Chapter 14, aka Social Judgment Theory. Social Judgment Theory explains how we hear messages and immediately judge where they belong on an attitude scale that exists in our head. Now, this scale exists in the form of a latitudinal plane. Think of it as an x-axis, if you will. And on this axis, there are certain types of ranges that exist. There is the latitude of acceptance, which is the range of ideas that we find reasonable. You have the latitude of rejection, which is the range of set ideas that we don't find reasonable, and that it actually persuades us not to look towards our opponent's view, and it makes us want to move farther away from a certain point of view. And then you have the latitude of non-commitment, which is the range of ideas that we don't find acceptable, but we don't find objectionable. They may seem illogical, but in terms of persuasion, they don't really do anything. For my enrichment story, I like to talk about how my parents convinced me to take ADD medication even when I didn't want to do it, but why that is okay. In high school, I came to a certain mental thinking that because I had ADD, I naturally couldn't perform like every other person, and that I needed the medicine that I was taking in order to do well in school. And this really hurt my pride for a bit, because to me it felt like in order to feel normal, in order to act normal, I had to take medication. And it wasn't until my parents pointed out how everyone has a type of hubris, that is, everyone has a certain drawback, a certain characteristic that makes them fall behind to a certain point compared to everyone else. And that it's okay for people to take medicine in order to help them improve their lives and to enhance their abilities. So you could say that the words hubris that they use, the words making a comeback, the word saying, that everyone naturally has a downside, those all fell into my latitude of acceptance, and therefore persuaded me to look towards their point of view and to accept what they had as reasonable and to trust their saying and then continue taking the medication. And because I did so, my grades improved, and I performed very well academically. So in conclusion, social judgment theory goes over how we break down an argument and how we break down certain perceptions and how we create the certain personalities that we have towards something. For example, in my case, for medication, my perception of the medication was that I needed it to perform academically well, and that made me feel embarrassed at first. And now I feel like I can handle any challenge now, because I've accepted now. My perception towards it now is different. It's more accepting. So that concludes my lesson. Thank you very much. Have a good day.